back at it again. Seems like we haven't done this forever. But
I know it, man. It's good to be back behind the microphone.
It's another episode of Bill and Tony's Excellent Adventure. Brought to you once again by Bobby Hines and our friends at Sandy's in Blue Springs, a great restaurant for healthy, home-style, delicious meals. They do that all-day breakfast. The portions are always large and just wonderful. Sandy's is at 1255 South 7 Highway in Blue Springs, and you can check out the menu and everything about Sandy's at sandysbluesprings.com. All of our full podcast episodes are on YouTube. They're on Spotify. You can hook up with us and watch our reels and our shorts on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Please like and subscribe, and feel free to comment and share in the last couple of weeks with many of the issues that we've covered. We really, really appreciate your comments, and we will always answer you back. Let's get started with our sports hot topics of the week, brought to you by Over the Top Roofing, owned by our friend Mark Sandridge, locally owned here in the Kansas City area for over 20 years. Mark's information is on the screen here, 816-678-4002. I talked to Mark we talk a couple of times each week, but I talked to him a couple of days ago. His roofing business is going great. Good. We've had really, obviously, he's been a sponsor of ours for the late spring and now summer. And with the weather that we've had here in the Kansas City area, it's really, and to your benefit, to use someone local, in Mark's words, and because he's a humble guy too, but we highly recommend Mark's place, which is Over the Top Roofing. Let's get to it. Number one topic, obviously, is the World Cup and the Arrowhead games in particular for those of us in the Kansas City area. And, Bill, we've been told that we were going to get 600,000 people here. I don't know whether that's true or not, but we do have a lot of folks in town, and that Arrowhead has really, really looked good, sounded good on national television, and it's hosted a couple of really good games. How about the first game with Lionel Messi and putting on a show for the entire...
How cool is it that right here in our own backyard, arguably the greatest player in the history of the game. I'm going to have a lot of Ronaldo fans out there. Old guys like us remember Pele.
Yep.
But a hat trick in his first game. Unreal.
It's just amazing. And I think he's just kind of putting the exclamation point not only on this amazing career, but, there's always that talk about, is it Babe Ruth? Is it Mickey Mantle? Is it LeBron? Is it Mike? Yep. Is it Pele or Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi? I kind of think that chapter's being completed in this World Cup. By the way, as we record this today, he scored 2 more goals today in their victory over Australia.
A 2-0 victory.
Yes, 2-0 victory.
Goals.
He scored them both. Just like the game at Arrowhead. But he's amazing. And we had another game over the weekend, Ecuador and Curacao. And when you looked at Arrowhead Stadium, usually, we're so used to seeing that stadium just everything's red, but everything was yellow.
Yes,
and it was really neat to see. And it was a 0-0, 0-0 tie. But the goalkeeper for Curacao made 15 saves in a World Cup game. That's just crazy.
I've covered so many high school, collegiate level soccer games, and you can have a guy win a game 8-0. And he could be back there sitting in a lawn chair drinking tea while his defense takes care of it. For this guy to stop 15. Oh, that's
and you've
amazing.
Covered the pros forever, too.
Sure,
sure. We saw it this year, and we'll get to that in a minute. But 15 saves is amazing, and good for those folks. And we saw a lot of people from Curacao coming into to Kansas City International Airport, and the amount of fandom for Ecuador was amazing. I mean, so I guess we're seeing it here in Kansas City, and we have to talk about the United States men's national team, who have now gone to the round of 32 before even playing the group competition out. And we're going to give Kansas City all the credit it deserves, because you've heard the World Cup announcers, which are not local announcers, they're international announcers, talking about how Kansas City has the reputation and almost the idea of being the number one sports market in America for soccer. And when that United States men's national team initial game, Kansas City, which is market 32, 33, was the number one rated city in the United States. It outdid Los Angeles and New York. And that's just a testament to the fandom of this city. That's amazing. One other soccer note locally, this young lady is quickly become one of the most dominant players in National Women's Soccer League history since joining the current in 2024. Temwa Chawinga, she led the league in scoring year before last, two-time MVP, two-time Golden Boot winner, first player in the league history to win back-to-back MVPs in her first 2 seasons, and she has signed an extension through 2029 with the Kansas City Current.
I tell you what, it's interesting. We went to a Current game, Stacy and I, with some friends, and you see all the Caitlin Clark jerseys with the little curls they're wearing.
Yeah,
every young lady at that arena was wearing her jersey. I just thought that was so cool.
She's awesome. I mean, and
she personality plus.
Oh yeah, without really being, putting it in layman's terms, a jerk on the field.
Oh yeah,
she's a cool woman, a fantastic player, and when she was out earlier in the season, the team struggled.
Yes.
And but it's good to know that they're going to have that young lady for several years to come through the 2029 season.
Well, the game we saw, I believe it was her first game back and she had the hat trick. And it was just like,
yeah,
who is this woman? I mean, she was phenomenal, and everybody was having as good a time as she was. Everybody was celebrating every moment that she was back on the field.
Chawinga. You'll remember that name. Let's talk about the Royals a little bit. They're still kind of hovering around that 15 games under 500. They get on a little bit of a streak, win 3-4 games, and then, but let's talk about the new home run king at Kauffman Stadium. I mean, Salvador Perez deserves every bit of everything that he gets and deserves, and then some. He's hit the most home runs now in Kauffman Stadium. It was his 137th home run over the weekend and against the St. Louis Cardinals, passing George Brett. And when Salvi hit that home run, he didn't do like you would see most guys doing, skipping and hopping and waving his arms in the air and slow boating it around the bases and dancing. No, he put his head down. He rounded the bases. He elbow smashed the next guy in line and then got in the dugout.
Blasted into left field and gone for the captain. And Salvador Perez is the home run king of Kauffman Stadium.
How many homers have we seen the captain shoot down that left field line in that little spot there? I'll tell you, congratulations, Salvi.
George Brett,
and now
all-time home run leader at Kauffman Stadium.
The crowd is going to salute Salvador Perez, and he's going to get a standing ovation for his record-setting home run tonight. That came in his last at bat. And Salvi outside the batter's box, tipping his cap. And even some of the Cardinals in their dugout tipping their caps and applauding, and rightly so.
And when they interviewed Salvi at the end of the game, And he just, he was Salvi being Salvi, thanking the fans.
Yes.
Saying, we won the game. That's the most important thing. Bill, you've known Salvi for years, and I would assume that you're probably going to write his book.
I'd love to. Salvi is the type guy that what you see is what you get.
Oh, he's just.
I can't tell you how many professional athletes I've seen
phonies.
Turn on the charm the minute the lights go out, the cameras go off, then, oh, man, Jekyll and Hyde. You'll never see that with Salvi. And the love of the fans, the love of his teammates, the love of the city, that was a special. And, he's getting very close to George in career home runs.
Billy, he needs 4 more.
Right.
He needs 4 more. So maybe by the time at the end of the week, but when this episode comes out, he'll be even that much closer. But
I was there when George hit his final 2 home runs in Kauffman Stadium, and I'm thinking it's not a home run hitter's park, and
that number is 317, by the way. And what do you think? What would it be like if they were playing in Cincinnati or New York or Baltimore? That'd be about 517. Maybe.
Yeah, yes.
But nonetheless, 317 is a heck of a mark. By the way, not only was that the home run, but his 1,043rd RBI, which is second in franchise history. I mean, it just goes on and on. If anybody thinks that Salvi might get into the Hall of Fame, you're out of your damn mind, because he's getting in. He's
first ballot.
I think so too. I do want to talk about a couple of the young guys. I want to talk about first of all, Bobby. Bobby got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's a grade 1 knee sprain, ACL sprain, I believe it is. And so this could be a couple of weeks. I hope not more than that.
Yeah.
The other 2 that I want to talk about are Jack and Jensen. These 2 kids are going to be stars. I think Jack's figured it out. Carter is, he's a rookie catcher.
Leading off.
When did that happen
nuts.
last?
Yeah.
But Jack has hit 7 home runs in the month of June. And as we're recording this, this is the 22nd of June. That kid is going to be a star. Yeah. And I think Carter Jensen is too. So with the Jack and Jensen and Bobby, and if Vinny can get this thing turned around and figured out, they got a pretty good little nucleus. They got a great nucleus to look forward to.
I can't imagine how frustrating it is for management, for Matt Quintero, for everybody involved with this pitching staff, that they can't stay healthy. It's just unbelievable.
Well, and look, their how can you win a division or get in a playoff spot? And I'm not making excuses for these guys, because most of them have underperformed.
Mm-hmm.
But your ace, your number 1 starter, Cole Reagans, they can't keep him healthy for a year. They just can't. They're going to have to – something's got to give with that. Chris Bubich has missed 2 of the last 3 years. A really, really good young pitcher.
I know.
Then Seth Lugo gets hit in the head with a batted ball at 100 miles an hour, but he came back and made a good start yesterday.
I know.
But, they're hurt all over. And then your closer, don't get me started with that dude, who came to camp overweight, couldn't hit 90 miles an hour, led the league in saves last year, by the way. It couldn't hit 90 miles an hour, and then, convinces management that, hey, I'm good to go. And then they brought him in a 1-run game on opening day, and he gave up 5 runs and couldn't get anybody out. Mm-hmm. And by the way, that's the last time he's pitched.
Yeah.
So their bullpen is bull butter. Yeah. So they got a lot of work to do. That other baseball team that plays in KCK that we had the young man on talking about the other day, last couple episodes, Kansas City Monarchs are 19-14, first place in the Western Division.
That's great.
In the American Association. And Nick had also mentioned the women's softball team, and they're off to a good start too. So I want to talk about another baseball story, Billy. this is going to be touchy with a lot of folks, but I'm going to give the facts here and let it lie where it is. Major League Baseball has warned several of the San Francisco Giants pitchers after they wrote Bible verses on their caps during the team's Pride Night game. June is Pride Month, and the league says the warning was not disciplinary and was not related to the religious content of the messages, which makes no sense, but whatever. What happened was the Giants starting pitcher, Landon Roop, wore a little thing on his cap that said Genesis 12 through -16 on his cap. And he said that verse reflects God's covenant and his personal faith. MLB said the uniform rules prohibit players from writing any messages on apparel or equipment, regardless of the wording. But the league said that it has issued similar warnings in the past for messages honoring family members or special occasions. Wait a minute. We retired, and everybody on every team in the major leagues wears the number 42 on a certain given day. Okay, we're not going to get into that. But if you're wondering, well, what is Genesis 12 through 16? Does it have anything to do with pride, the homosexuality? No, I'm going to read it to you. In my opinion, it does not. But I'm going to read what Genesis 9:12 through 16 says. This is a sign of the covenant I am making between me and you, and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth and the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will remember my covenant between me and you and all living creatures of every kind. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. Whenever the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures of every kind on the earth. What's so controversial about that? Like I said, we're gonna let it be, but that's the warning Major League Baseball gave to the San Francisco Giants, and for that matter, anybody else that has the idea of doing anything similar to that. Okay, let's move on. We don't talk a lot about tennis on this show, but we're going to a little bit. The Williams sisters are reuniting for the Serena and Venus for a women's doubles tournament at Wimbledon. They got a wild card invitation, so they're going to play. And Serena is actually going to return in singles as a wild card. Wimbledon starts June 29th. What do you think?
I love it. You know, I mean, 44 years old.
Yeah.
And
she's doing is it Wegovy commercials?
Yes.
Yeah, she's doing.
Yes.
She looks
great.
Well,
You know, she is as dynamic a female athlete, or forget female. She's as dynamic as any athlete I've ever seen, dominating her sport.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to bring a good vibe back to Wimbledon. I can remember when the French Open, Wimbledon, whatever was on during the era of Arthur Ashe, John McEnroe, Jimmy Connors. Oh my gosh, if I had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch it. And that's no longer the case for me personally, but when she's playing, I am going to watch her.
I think you and millions of others.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Bill, I want to talk to you about this because I know that you knew this young man, and I don't know what's going on, but the last several episodes that we've done, there's been a tragedy in one of the major sports. This one really, really hits close to home here in our area, but he was a huge star in the NFL, and I'm talking about the passing of Aldon Smith, who is he went to Raytown, right?
Raytown High School.
You covered him. You knew him.
I've shaken the hands of two individuals that I'll never forget. The first one was when I was an intern in New York. I covered wrestling at Madison Square Garden, and I shook Andre the Giant's hand.
Yeah.
And I mean, it you know.
It was like shaking the table.
Sticking my
here.
hand inside a giant ham.
It's crazy.
Alton was the same kind. I've known him since he was a freshman or sophomore at Raytown. He was always among our at the Examiner Defensive Players of the Year. Went on, had a great career at Missouri. And,
his rookie year was
19 and a half sacks his rookie year with the 49ers.
And the record was, 20 and a half?
20, I think 20.
Michael Strahan?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
no, it's unbelievable. And the cool thing about Alden was when you're talking to him, and I've said this about so many young men and women that I've encountered who have been hit with addiction problems. When he was Alden, he lit up the room. I mean, everybody wanted to see him. They found him slumped over dead in a friend's car, and they had been out delivering food to needy families.
For homeless, yeah.
And it's horrible. And, they're sending his brain in to be
studied for CTE.
Right. Yes.
And Bill, he's only 36.
I know.
There are guys in the league now, defensive ends, that are still playing that are that age.
Oh, yeah.
He was suspended, about 2 years total, you think? For
maybe a little more than
that. I mean, but I want to share this. I saw this today. Of course, his family is still searching for answers, and we don't really know yet. Nothing's
been released that I know of.
But his former teammate on the 49ers, Dante Whitner, provided some really disturbing information. He revealed that another former players, Anthony Davis and C.J. Spillman, were with Alden right before he died. I want to read you this passage that Whitner released. He said, "The day that Alden died, I received text messages, phone calls, FaceTimes with some of our ex-teammates, the two guys that I mentioned. And some of the shit that I saw was freaking disgusting." This is Whitmer talking via Pro Football Talk. Now I'm going to go ahead and say it. C.J. Spillman called me, 6 a.m., put me on FaceTime. He was showing me pictures of Alden slumped over in the front seat. Alden laying on the ground in front of the vehicle that he was traveling in, with all this shit hooked up to his body, pretty much deceased. And I want to say that it's disgusting because if you call me and we barely talk and it's circulating around, there's more than just me that saw those videos and pictures.
Wow. I wasn't aware of that.
Just
that's
got
TMZ crap. Right
just got wind of this morning, Bill, and whether any of these guys are going to be talked to by the police, which they will, just because they knew all that. I mean, it's such a
sad
tragedy. Again, should have and could have been avoided. Let's move on. We have a lot of music and entertainment news to talk about this week because there's a lot of new albums coming out. And let's just kind of go through them in no particular order. The Prince estate is releasing 10 unreleased Prince songs. The collection is called Timeless, and there will be tracks that were recorded across different periods, spanning from 1977 through when he died, which was 10 years ago in 2016. So that album will come out August 28th. Prince was a genius. I mean, just a musical genius.
One of the biggest regrets of my life, personally, I love music. I love concerts as much as anything. I never saw Prince in concert.
Me neither, but he was, Bill, I mean, one of the most incredible things you guys got to see, and maybe we can put up a little bit of this, is when he played, remember when he played with?
At George Harris Memorial.
Yes.
Throws that guitar in the air at the end and it never comes down. And to this day, people don't know what happened.
It was the lead of While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Yes. It was Jeff Lynne.
Tom
Petty. I don't know if Mike Campbell was in there. But it's amazing. It is amazing. But, it's funny. I mean, for years and years and years, when I thought of Prince, I thought of Purple Rain.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But after seeing that, I mean, here he is with the legends among the legends, and he just steals the show. He's the only person up there as far as anybody's concerned.
I was the same way. I said, that guy can play guitar that good? I mean, it was amazing. Let's move on. Paul McCartney's new album is out, The Boys of Dungeon Lane. That's his first album in over 5 years.
Yep.
That's out now. Willie Nelson's 79th solo studio album, and his 156th overall is out. It's called Dream Chaser. It's available on CD, vinyl, and, of course, digitally. Garth Brooks is reportedly doing what a lot of artists do, considering selling his music catalog for $2 billion. Why? I mean, he doesn't need the money.
No,
He's already made probably $10 billion.
Well, Taylor Swift sold her
and then bought it
back. And I believe Paul McCartney did too, because Michael Jackson bought it.
Yes, right.
And then
he bought it back
got
from,
it back from Michael Jackson.
That's right. So I don't know. Garth hasn't said for sure, but I don't know. Another biopic is coming out. That seems to be this time, and this time it is Shania Twain.
Really?
It'll be called Shania. Simple. Focus on really her life and all the big hits, and including the one that I've heard you sing. And sing as loud as you possibly can with your arms up in the air. Man, I feel like a woman. So that will be part of it too. They're keeping this real close under wraps, and so when we get the details, we'll let you know about that. Oh, also, Waylon Jennings is coming out with an album too. We talked about Willie. I got to mention
Waylon. I got a great Waylon Jennings story.
Well, let me hear it. I want to hear about Waylon Jennings' story.
I'm back in the locker room of the Kansas City Kings, 1984. Their last year in Kansas City, doing some interviews, and I leave, and this big old boy's walking backstage, and cowboy hat this big, and Waylon Jennings.
And he whoop your ass and stomp your
Oh,
eye
he
if you
could.
said something bad to him.
So he goes, "Hey partner, what's going on here today?" I said, "Oh, there's an NBA team here, and they're playing." He goes, "Well, they ain't playing tonight. Willie and I own this place tonight." And I said, "Oh man, I didn't even know you were coming." And he goes, "You want tickets?" He gave me and my wife tickets in like the third row.
Wow.
And this was when this was the beginning of outlaw country music.
Well, him and Willie defined that era.
And I'll appreciate his kindness for my entire life. And that show, the only thing other than the great music, Waylon comes out, and we're in the front row.
Yeah.
Was pants are unzipped. So all these people, Waylon,
no!
And he goes, "When's the last time you saw a legend with his pants unzipped?"
Oh no!
That was a great night.
Oh, that's great. He's been gone 24 years, but his son Shooter Jennings,
right? Works with Brandy Carlisle.
Yes, announced just on Father's Day that new music was coming.
Cool.
The album is called Diamonds, and it will be released in November.
Cool.
I want to talk about a reissue album that we're excited about here in Kansas City, and this is a big deal. It's Tech Nine's Angelic, The Resurrection. Ooh. It's going to be reissued, fully remixed and remastered. This is the 25th edition, and it will come out on the exact day, exactly 25 years from the original, August 28th, 2026. So this is coming out. Tech personally oversaw the remix and the remaster of all these songs. There were some really legendary songs on a legendary album, which was his debut. But there are 5 pre-order packages, 5 of them. The CD package, $18.98. Vinyl package, $40. Stamina package, $70. Okay. It's Alive package is $300. But I want to talk about the complex package, which is $1,000. But there's only 25 of them made. It's everything that's in the It's Alive package, like all the vinyls, all that. A numbered test press, which is the rarest vinyl format.
Yep.
A Strange Music Compound Tour, $500 warehouse shopping spree, a KC barbecue lunch with Tech, signed premium collectibles, and best 4 hardcore collectors who want this once-in-a-lifetime experience. So that is coming out August 28th.
I tell you what, I've been fortunate enough. I've visited with Tech. He was in my chapter when the Royals won the World Series in 2015. Celebrity fans, and greatest story. He rented every hotel room facing the Union Station for the party, and he didn't know where he was going to get food.
At the Westin?
At the Westin.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes, at Crown Center. So somebody comes and says, hey, we had a banquet of like 1,500 people, and they canceled because of the parade. They gave all the food to Tech, and he used to come in a van, park in the parking lot at Green Valley High School 30 years ago, and he would just give his CDs out to the kids, and my kids came home with these, and you know, well, who is it? I said, Tech 9. I'm like, ooh, Tech 9. I don't know about that. And what an amazing career. He's impacted so many areas of Kansas City. And I don't know. I think you and I should split and go in on that $1,000 package so we can have lunch with Tech.
You pay, I'm game. By the way, one last thing about Tech. It just dawned on me when you talk about it. He does the last show. We talked about this before World Cup. The Fan Fest. He's doing the last performance.
Is he really?
Yeah, he started, and so he'll do that.
Cool.
That'll be in July.
Cool.
A couple more things. Jelly Rolls in the news, and this stunned me because he's filed for divorce from his wife. I thought they were like inseparable, and
I did too.
They've been together since before he ever got famous. She was a dancer.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying.
How do you pronounce her name?
Bunny XO.
Okay, it is XO.
Yeah,
okay.
that's it. Bunny XO.
Okay.
So I guess you mentioned TMZ earlier. Said they first split back in May, and I guess it's been kind of an up and down thing. But I kind of took me by surprise.
Yeah, they were that couple that I always admired because she was with him when he was nothing.
Yeah.
He,
in jail.
In jail, just
drugged out.
One of those amazing success stories. And I would like that to just last forever. And it's sad. I'm sure something will come out somewhere, but I know he had a news conference, and he said, this is the first and last time I'll ever talk about this. Yeah. And, just these inseparable differences that's tough.
And
I feel bad for both of them.
On the other hand, Dolly Parton, who you never really hear anything bad about, taking a break from the usual 9 to 5, she's getting in the coffee business.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah, it's called Cup of Ambition. You know what that's
from.
That's a line from 9 to 5.
9 to 5.
Which she was a star in, one of the biggest hits of all time. Wow. Cup of Ambition. They'll start up in just south of Nashville later this month.
Okay.
One story that we unfortunately hear not a whole lot of good things about this young man, Kanye West. The mayor of San Antonio is calling for the cancellation of his 4th of July concert at the Alamo Dome. How many weeks have we talked about? Kanye's concert at Phil in the City is being canceled,
yeah.
Or the mayor her name is Gina Ortiz Jones. She shared her stance on the event on a post over the weekend, and it's all about anti-Semitic comments. That seems to be what it's about in all the cities. U.S. Senator Rick Scott of Florida has also called for Kanye's concerts in Tampa on June 26th and 28th to be canceled. I mean, you can't walk that stuff back, Bill.
And in this day and age,
just be quiet.
Exactly. There's no way you can win this because, Shane Gillis, who I love, this guy just makes me laugh looking at him. He got hired to be on Saturday Night Live as a performer and as a writer, and they fired him 4 days before the first show because they dug up something from like 8 years ago that was on streaming, and it was You know, this guy
I don't know.
has no filter. Let's put it that way. Yeah. But and then last year he hosted Saturday Night Live, so we have a short memory.
Yeah. Let's talk about a couple movies. Toy Story 5 is blowing up. That's the biggest opening of the year so far. They're talking about $160 million in its first week.
I know.
And another big movie that in its second weekend is the Steven Spielberg movie Disclosure Day. Now, Tone's shaking his head yes because we
you
talked
saw
about
it
yesterday. He saw.
Okay,
it.
I want to talk to you when we're done.
Well, that's the movie because I asked him. I thought this was the movie that shows it's a lot of it is Kansas City.
It was filmed like the secondary type stuff, but Emily Blunt was never in Kansas City or anything like that.
But they used Channel 4 News.
Oh, yeah.
Weather as one of the scenes where this happens.
I can't wait to see it.
Big box office draw. Yeah. It's I don't know what the totals were last year. It was 80 to 100 million, and this weekend was another 17 million.
The thing that I love most about it, it says it answers all the questions you had after you saw Close Encounters.
Oh, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. Swear.
When Richard Dreyfuss gets on the mothership.
Come on, well, we're going to go see it. We got to go see it. That and Jackass. A movie that's coming out, I never thought there'd be another one, but it looks like The Grinch is going to steal Christmas again.
Jim Carrey?
Yep.
Really?
A sequel to How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Jim Carrey is in talks to come back. Ron Howard slated to return as the director.
I hadn't heard it.
The script is in the works. No, they always keep this stuff under wraps, so we don't know yet. But
Ron usually calls me, though, when he's got something like this coming out to give him a call and say, what the hell?
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a disturbing story, and I learned something today about this guy from Tony. Los Angeles County prosecutors have filed their first criminal case under the district attorney's new business tax fraud unit. The LA DA announced that stand-up comedian and actor Carlos Mencia was arrested just a couple of days ago, facing 12 felony charges. The DA says that 78 notices were sent to Carlos Mencia unanswered. He is facing 10 years in prison if convicted on all charges. He's in jail, being held on $250,000 bail and is due back in court as we speak today. Now, I don't know what it's all about. It's fraud, but I did not know this. Tony told me this, that he was accused and kind of like everybody knew that he was stealing other comedians' jokes. And it makes sense because, and he was called out by somebody. I don't know who. Joe Rogan.
Oh, yeah.
He was live.
Here's the deal. You are a good performer. You do very well with other people's shit. I do well with my shit. It's been my shit. And by the way, no, I've never stolen George Lopez didn't grab you by your fucking neck and slam you up against the Laugh Factory wall for ripping off his shit. You ain't feel special? Yes, he did. You fucking liar. Yes, he did. But you know what he did? Because you're a fucking liar, bro. That's not why. He didn't do it. You know what? Lopez said me. Give me a hug. What's up? You want me to tell you what George Lopez did? You threw your face off and he tried to give me a hug. They're jealous because
jealous of you fat fuck.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I'm jealous of anybody. It's not going to be a guy who steals material.
And now that I think about it, what the hell ever happened to Carlos Mencia? That sumbitch was funny as hell.
And when I heard that, I thought he was dead. He hadn't done anything for so long. I just,
That's good of you, Bill.
Yes.
Well, he's what's second best to be dead? Prison? Well, and he's facing 10 years now. I'll tell him you said so.
Yes. That's
but
crazy.
I thought he was funny.
Yeah.
I guess most of his stuff was stolen. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can you imagine being a comedian? At the height of his fame, Steve Martin was number one in the world in everything, movies and music and And I interviewed him one time. He's at the University of Kansas in Lawrence, and he goes, Frank Sinatra can sing My Way 10,000 times and you want 10,000 more. Yeah. I go on Saturday Night Live. I do Walk Like a Egyptian. And that's it. I can't do it anywhere else. And I thought, that is so true.
That's so funny. Oh, man. But how about that movie, The Jerk?
Oh.
I was born a poor black child.
The good movie.
Carlos Mencia in deep trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to some foodie news. What do you think has been the number one fast food franchise for the last several years?
McDonald's.
Nope.
Really?
Chicken place. Chick-fil-A.
Oh, Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A.
Good.
Has
love Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, they've been a number one for several years now.
Okay.
But they've been dethroned. And this surprises the heck out of me. I'm not saying their food's bad because I really never go there. But they were dethroned by Jersey Mike's.
Really?
Seriously. Wow. The results are based on more than 16,000 surveys that were sent out via email between April of last year and March of this year. The annual American Customer Satisfaction Index, and they got edged out, or they edged out Chick-fil-A by 1 point. Have you ever eaten at Jersey Mike's?
I have, yeah.
I mean,
I like it among all the sandwich places.
Really?
Yeah, I like. Well, Danny DeVito's their
Oh, that's
spokesman.
right.
You gotta love anything Danny DeVito loves. So.
Yeah. Okay, so
That's surprising.
There you go.
I don't think I'd have had them in my top 5 or 10.
You're right. Jersey Mike's. Who knew? You just were talking about me thinking it was McDonald's, and maybe you've heard this, but McDonald's is bringing back a nostalgic dessert. They are bringing back the fried apple pie.
Yes.
Which I always thought was great. I love the apple pies, and they introduced those in 1968 when a Tennessee franchisee owner developed the recipe and said, "Hey, you guys ought to think about this." And that was 68, and they also came out with another sandwich called the Big Mac. Both of those were in 1968. Wow. And so in 1992, there was all this growing consumer awareness of fat and cholesterol consumption. Mm-hmm. So I didn't realize it had been gone that long. They replaced it with the
ice cream.
But they did it in an apple pie, but it wasn't baked. It was a little healthier or whatever. Okay. But really, fat and cholesterol consumption because of an apple pie at McDonald's? I mean, if you're going to McDonald's thinking about fat and cholesterol consumption, you just went to the wrong place.
Well, and the one thing I remember in my childhood about that pie, my little brother, I don't know, he's 5 or 6 years old, bit into one of those things.
Oh,
and I thought we were going to have to take him to the hospital.
Seriously,
his lips were burned. The rest of his mouth was burned.
Yeah,
it was
I think he and his brother have probably done that many times.
Yeah,
but that was before the spilling coffee on my junk lawsuits came out. From McDonald's and the hot coffee. Can you imagine if people would have sued people for biting into that stuff?
Oh, man. It was crazy hot, yeah.
I'll get one. I mean,
if I'm ever in there, sure. Just for nostalgia's sake.
I'm glad it's coming back. I want to share a good story here. Nearly 6 decades after leading his Marines through a brutal ambush in Vietnam, a retired Marine Corps Major, James Capers Jr., was awarded the Medal of Honor Thursday by President Trump. Oh. He is still alive. He's 88 years old. Wow. They call him the father of Marine Corps Special Ops. And you talk about a guy that's humble, and he was really uncomfortable going on stage and being recognized. He saved his fellow Marines in a combat. His unit was ambushed in the jungle, and most all of them died. He was injured badly. He was also the first African-American to lead a Marine recon company and receive battlefield commission. He said he has survivor's guilt over all of this praise.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he actually spoke.
I'm going to have to find that. I want to hear that.
It is amazing. Some here we go again news. Stop with this already. Starting here in just a couple of weeks, in July 12th, the U.S. Postal Service is raising the damn stamps again. I had to go buy stamps last week for for something I was mailing. I hardly ever buy stamps, and I didn't even know. I pulled out $1, and I got I didn't even get a quarter back.
No.
There's 78.
You got to take out a loan to buy a book of stamps.
I'm a book of stamps?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
78 cents to 82 cents now.
Yeah.
And postcards, who sends postcards anymore?
Yeah.
So they are going up to 65 cents. The USPS lost, this is a fact, almost $9 billion in the last fiscal year 2025, according to its audited financial results. And the Postmaster General said, and I'm quoting, "We're running out of cash and we need to make trade-offs. We would love to have brand new trucks driving through neighborhoods safely, but we don't have enough cash to do it." I got an idea. Close the F down.
Yeah. Yep.
Do we really need the USPS in 2026? What do you get? How many pieces of mail you get a day, Bill? 3 or 4?
Well, but 3 or 4 and
how many of it's important
0
that you need?
I mean, occasional bill, which I guess is important.
You might get a bill that you can get online.
Right. Right.
And if there are folks that don't do that, okay.
Yeah.
But what is, I swear, when I open my mailbox every day, it's
flyers.
Flyers for, whatever.
Right. Right. Drugstores
4 or
and
5 pieces of mail.
Yeah.
One of them, most of it's just, I throw it out. There's solicitations for credit cards.
Yeah.
Whatever. Why don't we just do a little subcontract with FedEx or anybody else? Yeah. UPS. Do we really need to have that thing losing $9 billion a year? And it's, by the way, that's slightly improved over 2024, where they lost $9.5 billion. Wow. So you take that by 20 years or 10 years.
I don't know. That's crazy.
I
wasn't aware of that.
Maybe I'm out of my mind, and I'm being too cynical about this. But I think to just get rid of the damn Postal Service. Yeah. Just get rid of it. Before we bring on our special guest, we have an incredible special guest today.
Do we ever?
We need to do a Bill and Tony follow-up. You and I, on a broadcast several weeks ago, talked about gas station drugs.
Yes.
That's not a term that we've made up. That's just kind of what Kratom and the 70H products are known as, because they're easily available. They have been easily available in gas stations, and the state of Kansas and the state of Missouri have done some things to try to curb these things. But you and I reached out to the owner and founder of American Shaman, which is a huge company based in Kansas City. His name is Vincent Sanders. We reached out to him before what I'm about to present came out, and we didn't hear from him. We never got a response back. Just in the last week, Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway announced that American Shaman, which has been wrapped up in litigation since only November, with the AG's office and the Department of Health and Senior Services, will no longer sell any Kratom products to Missouri consumers in stores or online. The company agreed to end its Missouri-targeted retail advertising, including billboards, and that has to stop within the next 30 days. If American Shaman breaches the agreement by making a sale of any Kratom product, the AG's office said the state could seek court orders to stop the contract. Then if the company does not stop and remedy their actions, it could face an agreed-upon $5 million penalty.
Good.
So,
bravo.
According to the lawsuit, American Shaman advertised free samples of 70H despite it being highly addictive.
Did they really?
Free samples. I do want to mention this, then we'll move on. Missourians who believe they were harmed by 70H or other Kratom alkaloids are encouraged to contact the AG's office by calling the Consumer Protection Hotline or submitting an online complaint.
Good.
Once
I like
again,
that.
we reached out to Vincent Sanders to have an open discussion and hear his side of the story prior to this ruling by the Attorney General. And I would assume that, maybe there was a non-disclosure agreement between he and the government, and he couldn't come on, or.
But you know who did come on?
Wasn't good timing.
Our buddy, the mayor of Independence, Kevin King.
The mayor of Independence.
Man, he addressed it. He was, against it, and
so that's where that is.
Good.
Good. And that's where it seems to be going nationwide.
It's wonderful.
We have a special guest that we're very, very excited about. His name is Mike Ash. He and his daughter wrote the opening music for the 2024 Winter Olympics. Several of their songs have appeared in television shows, and I believe it's more than 36 television shows.
40-some television shows.
He's currently putting the final touches. It was originally going to be an EP, but it looks like it's going to be a full-length album.
Yes.
That'll be released in the coming weeks. He's also the musical director at the Church of the Resurrection right here in Blue Springs, Missouri. Please welcome Mike Ash. Mike, thanks for joining us today. This is a real treat. Bill's been telling me about you and for a long time now. And I don't even know where to start. In our intro for you, we started with the Winter Olympics music. So let's just go ahead and, if that's okay with you, Bill and Mike.
It doesn't get any bigger than that.
How do you even get approached about composing music for the Winter Olympics? How did it start, and how did it get to where it got to?
Well, actually, there was an artist that was looking for a female singer to sing on this particular song, and someone told them about my daughter, Liv, and so they contacted her, and she ended up singing this song, Born to Be a Legend, and it's just had some wings to it. It's been on quite a few different shows, and then France, actually, the country of France, used this particular song as their Olympic theme song. So it was really fun. Just every time you tuned in and saw the country of France, you heard that song.
What did that make you feel like the first time you heard that on? There's a billion people watching. It's like the World Cup. The Olympics is a global event.
Yeah. Well, for my wife and I, it's just such a special thing because it's, we're hearing our daughter, on TV, like singing. And it's kind of, we kind of pinch each other and go, can you believe this? This is crazy, So, yeah, it's exciting.
That's awesome.
Well, and I wouldn't even know about this had it not been for several people at Church of the Resurrection. Mike is in charge, wears many hats at Church of the Resurrection, but does an amazing job with the music. And when Stacy and I joined the church, 3-4 years ago, the first person that came up and welcomed us was Mike. And little did he know, or did I know, that would become a great friendship.
That's right.
And someone that is so important to me. And his music, Tony's with Heads Up. It's just a great band. They play all over Kansas City. And I was talking to Tony today about Tom Petty, and they do several Petty songs. And when a Tom Petty song starts, whether Tom's playing lead guitar, Mike Campbell's, you just know it's a Tom Petty song. Well, at church, when Mike is leading the music before the start of the sermon, my wife and I'll turn to each other and we'll say, hey, that's a Mike original. You can just tell. How does that happen, Mike? I mean, how do you have that signature sound that people can just recognize that Mike Ash is involved with that song?
Boy, I wish I had an answer. I think part of it is just being authentically who you are. I grew up in a family that kind of performed a lot. My dad and my grandfather played music in bars and clubs, and his younger brothers and cousins, they had a band, and when I was 16, 17, I started playing music with them. So I grew up in a family of performers, so I figured out how to emulate and copy, but my real love, my real fascination was for songwriting. I was just fascinated with great songs and how they were written.
Who were your influences then?
Well, like I remember a family vacation, and I'm 10 years old, and we're driving from Illinois to Florida through the night. It's raining. I'm laying down in the back seat. One of my little brothers is in the floorboard. It's one of those trips. We're talking, that's a long time ago. And it's rainy, and the radio's on, and I hear 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover.
Paul Simon. Yeah.
And I remember listening to that song and just thinking, this song is amazing.
Like, that's Bill's theme song.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
So yeah, and then right around that same time, Mac Davis had like a TV show on,
Right.
and he would, I don't know if you remember, but at the end of the show, he would sit out on a stool
Right.
with a pad and paper and his guitar, and he'd say, hey, we're going to write a song.
Yeah.
And he'd ask the audience, like, hey, we're going to write a song. Throw out some ideas. So, there's a girl walking down the street. Okay, there's a girl walking down the street. There's a train going by, and he writes all this stuff down, and then he started playing it. And I'm like, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Like, he just pulled this song together out of the air. And that was kind of the beginning of some of the stuff where I'm like, I want to. So that I've been on this quest my whole life I want to write a great song.
Well, there's a Mac Davis song that actually I thought Nuts brought up Mac Davis. He wrote a song called "Hard to Be Humble," and it seems like real easy for you to be humble because you're not.
Yes,
Bill has even mentioned that to me that you don't really pat yourself on the back much for any of this stuff. And I wanted to ask you, what's something about the Olympic process that the public might be shocked to know about?
Well, I had very little to do with the process because the Sync licensing company is the one who interacted with that committee. Yeah. And the Sync company is Resonate, which they're amazing, just an amazing group. And they have really played an instrumental part in us getting these songs placed in TV and TV shows.
When you said you and your wife had to pinch each other. I wrote a book about priest homes, and I'll never forget. I'm home by myself, knock on the door. They deliver me the first copy of the book off the printing press. I was like I'm glad I was by myself. I'm crying. I'm looking at it. This is just the coolest thing ever. And you're listening to your daughter at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Is that as good as it gets as a dad, one, and as a songwriter, second?
Yes. The first song that ever got placed on a TV show was this show called Quantico. I don't know if you guys remember this show, but we had written this song with Tommy Prophet called Ready for War. And it was, a pitch idea that came down from the TV executives. They're like, hey, we want this, we need a song about Ready for War, so we had the description of it. And so we started writing this song, Ready for War. And it was just kind of funny because she was 13 at the time. And this song, talks about like blood and fire, and she's just, we're ready for war, And it was just so funny to us that we were doing this song, and I thought, this is so out of the box. This is never going to be anything, And then it gets picked up by Quantico, and it's played in a couple other TV shows as well. But that first time we cried, it was one of those where you're just like, oh my, I can't believe this.
How did your music first start? Again, I want to go back to the beginning, placed in TV shows. I mean, I don't know anybody that's been in TV shows other than Cops. And, was it hustle, networking? How does that all come about? And then I want you to talk about a lot of those TV shows. Too,
okay.
What the music
Okay.
is. But how did it start?
Well, so I have a cousin who was on staff at Capitol Records. Mm-hmm. And he was in artist development and publishing, done lots of things there. And he texts me, he says, "Hey, I hear that Olivia can really sing." And she's about 11 or 12. Wow. And we were doing simple little demos, and I said, "Well, yeah, I sent him one," and he texts back about 10 minutes later, "Can you guys come to Nashville just for a visit? I want to introduce you to some people." And so that was the beginning of it. And we went, and she played for different people there, and they saw the potential and started asking us about songwriting, and started getting us in the room with producers. And we did a lot of, it was a lot of work, the first few years. And it was just a lot of going down, being consistent, writing, coming up with ideas, going in the studio, recording, really just knocking on the door. And it wasn't, Quantico, I think, happened and she was 15. So we were 2.5 years before we ever got a song placed.
So talk about, and don't be easy to be humble now. So what are some of the TV shows besides Quantico? Yeah, I know there's a lot. But
yeah, there's a lot.
We're all anxious to hear.
Yeah, so ABC used one of our songs called Ready to Go for their summer game series. So it was on all summer long. Let's see. Oh, man, and I had printed a bunch. I had printed all this out and then I left it. But yeah, so like been on Fox Sports. It's been on the opener for the AFC Championship football game. Yeah, that was called This Is My Show. And
neat.
So we've had, over 40 placements on TV.
The one that just blew me away, absolutely gave me chills, and you took me aside after the sermon and said, "Hey, we got a show." It's no longer on, but it was a show where they had to find missing kids within like 24 or 48 hours. And it was the big dramatic moment in the show, and this song blew me away.
Yeah. I think that song was called Never Surrender.
It is.
Yeah. And that song's been used and placed a lot. There's another song called I Know Your Secrets. Ooh. And that's been on like Total Bellas and Selling Sunset and a bunch of MTV things, a Hulu show. So yeah. But if you want to look for some of her music, it's Liv Ash, Livash, and you can find her TV and film music out there.
Well, when you come back, you better bring Liv with you.
Well, yeah, I think she's going to be. She's got to be on sometime.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
If and when the well runs dry, how do you get unstuck?
Well, that's the thing about songwriting, and what I've come to realize is it's really not like something that I can drum up, but there is this source of creativity that if you can tap into it, you're always going to be creative. And one of the interesting things, there was this study on grief, and the reason why I bring that up is because I've lost my dad and my 2 younger brothers in the last 2 years. And people who go through grief, especially artistic or creative people, many times they have this surge of just creativity that just pours out of them. I mean, you look at Van Gogh's work, you look at, symphonies and things are written because someone has experienced loss or grief. So that's part of the thing that started happening with me, with my dad and my brothers. I started recalling these memories, and I just started writing songs. I just started putting these songs to music. And it was just a good reminder that, I'm getting up there now, I'm getting older, but I've just been writing, and my wife says, I don't think the well's ever going to run dry with you. And I'm like, well, I hope not. I mean, I've never thought of it like that, because I just sense that there's this creative thing. And we've experienced it in the studio when we're writing. Like some of these songs, like the song Ready to Go that Liv recorded, I was on a run and I had this phrase, I'm ready to go. And I think I'd said it to my wife before I left. And I'm on this run, and I wrote this song Ready to Go while I was on a run. And it was unexpected, and I came back and I had my phone and I just voice noted it, and so we go into the studio and I tell he's like, well, so what do you guys want to work on? I'm like, well, I have this idea. This was Matt Bronlew, who is a great producer. I said, I have this idea about just ready to go. I'm ready to go. Actually, we wrote this is my show with Matt. Ready to Go was a different producer, but anyway, inspiration just comes. It's like you've heard the guys like, oh, you're going to write something down on the napkin in the diner. Somebody says something.
Right. Well, you were talking about grief. One of the songs that comes up to me, and it was probably one of the biggest songs in his career was Vince Gill.
Oh.
When he wrote Go Rest High on that mountain, he wrote it for his birth.
Yeah. Well, there's some interesting podcasts out there, like Malcolm Gladwell, Revisionist History. Yeah. He has this. They're back-to-back podcasts, but they're about music and songwriting. One of them, he interviews Bobby Braddock, who wrote "He Stopped Loving Her Today."
Loving Her, yep, which is sometimes considered the greatest country song of all time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that whole thing, and they call Bobby Braddock the King of Tears.
Yes.
Because he just writes these writes these tear jerkers,
How old was Liv when she moved to Nashville?
She was, let's see. Boy, she'll be 20. So she was 20. She had just turned 20 when she moved to Nashville.
Now, is that, you hear about Writer's Row, and these guys go and they just kind of sit and try to write something in a little cubicle. Others go out and just want to soak it all in and get inspired by that. When she has this great idea, how cool is it when she calls you and discusses it with you?
Yeah, that's really fun because we can collaborate that way. She's really strong melodically, and she's very poetic as well, and so she can really write well, and we work well together.
What's the one piece of advice you would give to young songwriters or composers trying to break? They may have those aspirations to trying to break into TV or major events, or for that matter, just trying to get song published or something like that. What's your advice?
Well, I joined Nashville Songwriters Association and was a part of that organization for years.
Yeah.
And so I would go to these workshops, songwriting workshops, things like that. I would encourage any songwriter to go to songwriter workshop, go to open mics where they want to hear live music. Just pay attention to really great songs. There are two kind of schools of thought in this whole thing of being an artist. You can try to be impressive, or you can try to move people.
Right.
And so I lean more on the side where I want to do something that's going to connect with people. The impressive thing, some people are really good at it and they can do that, but it's hard to sustain being impressive for very long.
I think being yourself is probably
That's it.
more. You were talking about going to open mics and things, and we all know the story, but it was actually a good friend of mine who saw a teenage kid at the Bluebird Cafe and ended up signing Taylor Swift, Scott Borchetta. And so it could happen. It can really, that moment can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
If you're being, and all he saw was a teenage kid that was being genuine but that wrote all of that stuff already. She had that gift already at 15.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
With the CD that's coming out, the last time we really talked about it, 5 songs. Now there are 8. Where are you at in that process? What is that like?
Well, it's been a wonderful reconnect with my family. Like I mentioned, I have a really musical, talented, extended family. I really love those guys so much, and they support me and love me. And so my cousin Charlie Ash was signed with Curb Records for years. He and his younger brother, and their band. And now Charlie's back in Bridgeport, Illinois, the small town where I'm from. Most of my family lived there or close to there. And he has a studio. He has his own studio. He's a great producer, amazing musician. And he was really working closely with my younger brother, Tim, who had been going to Nashville, and he recorded projects and was working closely with Charlie. And so when Tim passed, I was going to go to the studio that he was using in Nashville. Well, Charlie and I connected. He's like, hey, would you consider coming here, and we'll do it. And that's kind of what got the ball rolling. And so my family, they're all playing on this project.
That's great. You know, Bill and I, I don't know if we did this intentionally or we've done this intentionally or not, but our show seems to be about unexpected twists in people's lives with pretty much every guest that we've had, whether it be a sports person or an author or whatever, a musician. What's the most unexpected turn in this journey that you've had? Or has there been an unexpected turn?
Well,
or are they all unexpected?
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some people who go, I have a 5-year plan, I got a 10-year plan, or whatever. And those things I think God just kind of laughs at that stuff, At least that's been my experience, because I've ended up doing things or being in a room with people that I never thought I'd be in a room with, or, these opportunities pop up. And so, yeah.
We can relate to that. I mean, we're in a room with people that we never thought, including you. I mean, it's
2 72-year-old guys who didn't know what a podcast was 8 months ago. And now, this is the highlight of my week. I just love coming in here and visiting.
It's so awesome.
It really is. Is there a Kansas City or a Missouri moment or place or person that influenced your path? I know you talked about, your family, and maybe that is it. I mean, but is there something about the Midwest? You have roots in the Midwest.
Yes. Yeah.
How much of that is your inspiration?
Well, a lot. I mean, I'm going to title this album Midwestern.
Oh, well, and I did not know that.
That was not planned.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the album is going to be titled Michael Ash Midwestern.
And when's that coming out?
It'll come out in August.
Oh, great. So not very far away.
Right. One of the most fun things that we did before Liv had moved to Nashville, we played at Kauffman Stadium before a couple of the different games, right outside Gate C, the Hy-Vee stage or the Price Chopper stage.
Yeah.
And we did that for 3 years in a row. And
I remember them doing. I'm sure I saw you. I mean, they did that for years.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun, and
that's great.
We just pulled it off. I mean, we had a female drummer, and Liv was playing keys, and I was playing guitar, and we just we loved doing that. It was so fun.
Well, and you're able, through your work at the church, to hone your skills for songs that, inspire so many people at Church of the Resurrection. How'd you get involved with the church?
Well, that's a whole other...
Because you wear so many hats.
Yeah. So I got a call from one of the executive team, Debbie Nixon, And I had been working with another church, and my time had kind of finished there. And Debbie calls me and says, this is 2011, hey, we've heard of you. We are opening a new location in Blue Springs. We'd really like you to consider coming there and helping us, make this happen. And so there were a few other churches that we were thinking about maybe moving to Nashville and just doing the songwriting thing and going for it. But when we visited this church in Blue Springs, there was about 65 people there maybe. We thought, this is it. We're supposed to be here. Yeah. And so now we're, the attendance is going up and up, and we have 2 services, and it's just been wonderful. And I've been there 15 years, so I just never dreamed that I'd be there that long, but it's been awesome.
When people look back on your body of work, what do you want them to say or think?
I'd hope that people, if anybody thinks of me, that they would think he was a good guy, and he was humble, and he just wanted to encourage people, because that's kind of my mojo.
Well, I know Bill and I and Tony are ready, and the audience is ready. They want to hear it. So if you're ready, we'd love for you to play a couple songs if you didn't mind.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do that.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, well, this song, Meet Me in Indiana, started out kind of as a running joke with my dad, because we're from Illinois, and he moved to Indiana when he retired. And so it was, I guess we'll just meet in Indiana. And we kind of laugh about that on the phone. And then when he passed, the idea came for me to write a song, because he lived in Newburgh, right on the Ohio River, and it's really a beautiful place there. So that's what this next song is, Meet Me in Indiana. Where the wild flowers grow, the Ohio moving slow, hummingbirds and butterflies, big dreams shining from your eyes. A rainbow after the storm, a warm fire on a winter's morn. Meet me in Indiana, down by the riverside. Tell me all your big dreams. It's just so hard to say goodbye. We had a gig at the county fair. They didn't like us with our long hair. We blew a breaker, shut the whole thing down, and they ran us out of town. We got drunk and wrecked the car. We closed down the corner bar. The police wanted to hear a song. They clapped their hands and sang along. Oh, how those church bells rang when you stood on that car and sang. Meet me in Indiana, down by the riverside. Tell me all your big dreams. It's just so hard to say goodbye. Our favorite people keep moving on, and I'm still here playing these songs. In my dreams I'm singing with you. Your voice strong and pure and true. Now we laugh about those days, playing music in our crazy ways. There's one thing I want you to know. When it comes my time to go, meet me in Indiana, and we'll go for a ride. Tell me all your big dreams. It's just so hard to say goodbye. Meet me in Indiana. Meet me in Indiana. Meet me in Indiana. We'll never have to say goodbye. So this next song was inspired by a time I had with my dad. I was 6 years old, and we went fishing. We went out to Red Hill Lake, and we found a nice spot. And we had one of those old metal green Coleman coolers. You remember those things, you know? No lawn chairs. We were just sitting on we had 2 poles, and my dad would cast them out there, and we got into a school of fish, a school of bluegill. So he would cast them out, and I would reel them in. And just as fast as he'd cast them, I would reel them in, and we filled the cooler up with these fish. And it was just such a fun time, such a really good memory with my dad. I was a little disappointed later on when I realized that fishing wasn't always like that. You know, it's like that was an unusual day. But that's what this next song is about. About that, and about moving through the grief of losing my dad. So. Wake up, come on, those fish are jumping. Watch the morning sun burn the fog away. You cast the line, I'll reel them in. Can't wait to go do that again. Let's go. Whiskey, won't you take away my sorrow? Wash it all away like a spring rain. Got his love tattoo, I got it to remember you, a reminder that you're closer than my skin. Memories in my mind, another place, another time. Regrets smell like spring snow. Love's knocking on that door. Let's go. It's hard to speak, but you know I'm praying. Getting out of bed's a victory. Take a walk around the pond, thank the ground I'm walking on. God, you must really love the color green. Memory in my mind, another place, another time. Spirit watching over me, helping me back on my feet. Love is calling me to dance through the grief and circumstance. An angel standing by my bed put his hand upon my head, spoke a healing words of truth. There's a mighty river running through you. Let's go, let's go. I wish I had a way to say thank you for all the love that you've given me. There's more to see on this ride. Peace and grace will be the guide. Love's melting on that door. Love is knocking on that door. Let's go.
How about that? I mean,
He brought it, didn't he?
those two songs are great. I mean, you talk about great lyrics and melodies, and to see that this is a guy right here in our community that is humble. This guy's been in. You know how difficult it is to get in a music scored in a TV show. Mind you, 40 of them that he kind of didn't even want to talk about too much. You know?
I know. You know, we've been doing this since October, and since October I've been trying to get him on, and he just, he's, someday I'll come on when I've got something I really want to talk about. And
the Olympics?
And that, the TV shows, and this,
Well, the album coming out.
The two songs he played today. Wow.
Wonderful. And, we are going to have him back, and we definitely want he and his daughter.
Yes, Liv
to come back. So we'll have them back again for sure. Once again, we're brought to you by Sandy's in Blue Springs. Come out and have a fantastic meal. Bobby Hines, our dear friend, is the general manager here on 7 Highway, 1255 South 7 Highway, sandysbluesprings.com. Thanks to our friend Mark Sandridge, who is the owner of Over the Top Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, that information is on the screen. Please call him. All of our full podcast episodes, you can find them on YouTube and Spotify. You can always hook up with us and watch the reels and the shorts on Facebook. They're on TikTok. They're on Instagram. Please like and subscribe. Feel free to comment and share. I know we're going to probably get a lot of comments this week, and feel free because we will answer you back. And we'll be back with another episode next week, Bill and Tony's Excellent Adventure. He's Bill Altels. I'm Tony Stevens. Thanks to our producer, Tony Jr. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Take care.